Do I feel good today? DTL Universe, our world changes today. Welcome into your sports and sports betting brand of record. We call it Driving the Line. We are live every single weekday and Sundays during the NFL season at 10 a.m. Eastern time. But today, it's very, very different because of all of you at home, because of all of you in the chat. Hit the like button on your way in, by the way. We have now taken another gigantic step in our evolution and our growth. Starting today, our 10 a.m. Eastern show will be live on Stadium. That's right. Wherever you find Stadium, you will find us at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Amazon Prime Video, you better believe it. YouTube TV, yep. Roku TV, you name it, we are there. And don't forget about the Stadium app and watchstadium.com. All of those places, we want to become the brand of record and lead the charge in their rebranding, in their relaunch, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So thank you to everybody at Stadium for trusting us and bringing us in live this morning. Now, we also have a new podcast called DTL the Podcast. Drops about 2 p.m. Eastern every single day, and you crew members, you get the video every single day. But there is the face. There is the man that launched this with me 8 months ago, and AB, today's a big day for us. Good morning.
Huge day. Good morning, Coach. Good morning, crew. Good morning, everyone. Yep, great weekend, big day. Shout out Stadium. Let's go. Monday Night Football.
Oh, you're damn right. The Jets and the 49ers. We'll get into all of that. Also, do not forget tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time, DTL Primetime Live, bringing down everything Monday Night Football. But you know who else would have loved this, AB? Our man
Howard Schwab Jr.
Man. Howie Schwab would have loved it. What are the crew player of the day selections?
Well, they got this newfound game called Monday Night Football tonight, and we're all excited to see if it takes off and picks up in America, all right? You got the Jets +4, 49ers -4. Jets, 49ers over 43. Jets, 49ers under 43. Polls in the chat. Vote now. We'll update as we always do at the end of the show. And most players, quarterbacks, when they're going back to where they live, Aaron Rodgers, right? Most of them would be happy. I feel like this is a revenge game for Aaron Rodgers going back. So, yeah, vote. We'll update the end of the show.
It kind of feels that way. What will he have? He 2 years in the making. Last year, 4 plays in. So much to talk about with Monday Night Football. But we have a lot to talk about what happened over the weekend as well. So we're going to start every single Monday morning with a little combo at the start. Ladies and gentlemen, I got the best crew in the business. It's time for the picks. And on a Monday, I've got the absolute very best. Look who is here. The man from the dirty, dirty Big Chuck. My numbers guy, Raphael. And, of course, the Z-man and AB and producer man behind the scenes. Gentlemen, every single Monday, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little something we like to call Monday mishaps. Because what do people at home love to do more than anything? Complain. Talk about their bad beats, talk about something that happened with their favorite team or another game. It could be anything. So, Z-Man, you were at 2 different mishaps this weekend, so I would love for you to start us off, sir.
Yeah, so I host College Tailgate for ESPN Radio, and this past weekend, our campus tour took us to Ann Arbor, all right? So I'm ready for, a huge game. It's number 3 Texas at number 10 Michigan. They've only played 1 time before this weekend in the history of these programs. That was the Rose Bowl 20 years ago. So this is the first time ever that these teams have met in Ann Arbor. Incredible environment. Ann Arbor, you were very good to me. I loved your hospitality. But, man, what a dud of a game. I watched the whole game in the press box. I was hoping the game was going to be tight so I can go out watch in the stands with 100,000 screaming Michigan fans. And it never came to fruition. Just a dominant effort by the Longhorns. And, of course, Michigan's first loss in 2 seasons. So, great experience in Ann Arbor, but woof, that game. Woof.
And you looked and you sounded amazing. I watched a lot of your stuff. I love that.
Thanks.
And I'm so honored that you're a part of our crew on Mondays. Now, Raphael, Michigan, a dud. Lori says, what about Notre Dame? That was a big-time mishap or dud. What did you see this weekend, sir?
I saw that the sports bettors took a beating. Saturday took a beating. We just mentioned two games that that the players took a beating, and then yesterday the books gave the money back last night, but then the under came in, so the books saved themselves. It was just a really, really bad day for the bettors Saturday and Sunday. The favorites go 5-6-1 yesterday. The under on NFL Week 1 was a play. 7 out of the last 13 games yesterday all went under the total. So if you were under better, which no one is here because we're not allowed to say the word under on this show, but you had a nice day yesterday.
I hate unders.
I'm
Night the
sorry.
under came in.
I'm sorry. We had the under last night, so we're
Yes, you
gonna
did.
go
I
there.
knew you were going to say that. I knew
I was
you were
waiting
going to
for
say
that.
it. Somewhere Soupy is out there going, chirp, 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 chirp. Don't hear you, Soupy. I don't hear you. Now, this man is always very quiet until he doesn't need to be. Ladies and gentlemen watching on Stadium around the world, if you want any sport, but specifically soccer too, he is your man. But I would love to know where you saw Charlie, Chuck, whatever we call you. What did you see this weekend, sir?
Morning, Coach Crew. I saw the Falcons make a $185 million investment for a Kirk Cousins who took a 10-9 lead into halftime, come out, put up a goose egg, threw two horrible picks, including the one on the what could have been the game-winning drive as well. So, I see where 185 million gets you as well. So appreciate you, Kirk. It wasn't even prime time. We get that coming up Monday.
A couple of interceptions later. It was awful. But Justin Fields on the other side, we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. AB, what's your mishap from the weekend?
The mishap is this. We all talked about the AFC North coming in this division, right? Start the season. Well, guess what? The Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin were the only team in the AFC North that did not score a touchdown at all in week 1. Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers are the only team in the AFC North that won in week 1. Get you some of that.
And that's why we're doing mishaps. I never would have thought of that, AB. That is an amazing one. But I need a bonus one from my man, the Z-Man, because you live in South Beach. You live in Miami. And yesterday, right before the game, Tyreek Hill, well, he's face down all over every single channel. And then he goes in 7 catches, 130 yards, and a handcuff celebration. What did you make of that? How big of a story in your neck of the woods?
Well, yeah, it's a huge story. And my initial thoughts were, I could see the headlines now. Tyreek Hill detained before the game, leads Dolphins to victory with monster game on the field. And that's exactly what happened. 80-yard touchdown reception ends up getting the Dolphins back in the game late in the third quarter. And of course, the Dolphins with a come from behind victory. But look, Tyreek Hill, and this, we don't know yet what actually went down. We'll get body cam footage and all of that. Apparently, he was cited for a moving violation, and who knows what took place after that. Seems obviously excessive that he's face down on the ground, handcuffed. You got Dolphin fans driving by, walking to the game. It was a block away from the game. But here's where you really knew that something was off. Calais Campbell, who's an NFL Man of the Year, all right? Calais Campbell saw what was happening. He walked up to try and help defuse the situation, and he ended up in handcuffs as well. That's
Crazy.
Calais Campbell. So it's one thing to say, hey, Tyreek Hill, you don't have any benefit of the doubt. You're Tyreek Hill. But Calais Campbell gets all the benefit of the doubt. Very, very strange situation. We'll obviously learn more in the next couple days because we'll wind up getting body cam footage.
Yeah, great take right there. And I thought the same thing with Calais Campbell. I was like, wow, what's going on? But Tyreek Hill was all class in his post game, as the chat says. By the way, some of you in the chat, well, one person, you get one, and then you get blocked. So that's all I'm going to say. All right, now it's time for the picks today. And this is where we'll put all the different picks. Then later in the show, we're going to prop it up with our props for later today. We're going to kind of separate them out. And Charles, I got to come over to you because there's been this nasty little international break in soccer, and we just can't have it. But you found one play today that you absolutely love. Start us off.
The Nations League continues today, and we have a rematch from the Euros where France have averaged 2.7 team goals at home over their last 25 fixtures, while Belgium, they come to town having scored 1.4 team goals over that same span of play. I'm not seeing another 1-0 result here. I'm seeing both teams get in on the scoreboard as well. So give me that both teams to score. UEFA Nations League, that's going off at 2:45 p.m. Eastern.
My gut tells me we'll be getting that early tweet from you saying, hey, 22 minutes in, we're good to go. Then I can move on down the road. That's what you do. Shout out to Jodell in the chat. Good morning, DTL. Let's have a great week in sports. Jodell, I am with you, especially in baseball. We can't forget about it. Raphael, Dodgers, talk to me.
Dodgers team total over 5.5 even money. Why is it even money? Kyle Hendricks is on the mound for the Chicago Cubs. I think he's going to give up a home run as we speak, and the game is the last game of the evening. This game will be parlayed with the Monday Night Football game. I just don't understand how this is only 5.5 and getting even money. The Cubs offense has been silent over the weekend against the Yankees when they hosted the Yankees. Now they have to go to Dodger Stadium where they always struggle. Hendricks has an ERA of 5.68 at Dodger Stadium. I just think he gets lit up very hard, very early, and this one flies over.
All right, let's stack that cash. We'll keep an eye on that throughout the evening. John says, thanks for that, Z-Man. I had no idea about the Campbell part of it. John, that's why you come here. My guys are the absolute best. But now we have to put our focus onto Monday Night Football. And the 49ers, Z, they're all in. They push all their chips to the front of the table, or to the middle of the table, for this year. And you think tonight they get off to a good start?
Yeah, this really isn't a difficult one for me. This is kind of one of those where let's not overthink this situation, okay? You got Monday Night Football. You got the Niners at home. The Niners are a Super Bowl contender each of the last few years. There's so much talent on the offensive side of the football. And by the way, the defense is pretty good too. And then I look at the Jets side, and I remember we're talking about the Jets here. I mean, they're destined to be a major letdown. Aaron Rodgers, 4 snaps last year does not count. I haven't seen Aaron Rodgers play football in 2 years. I'm rolling with the home team here. I'll lay down the 4 points. Give me the Niners.
Real quick, I see Raphael in the chat says all 49ers money this morning. Most books had 3.5 and now -4, huh, Raphael?
Yeah, all morning it's just been 49ers. 49ers mostly money line too. No, not taking the spread. So that's why they moved it to 4 to try to get that money line money action all day. But they were heavy on the Jets. This one opened up -6, May 13th. So it's all Jet money until today, where we're starting to get some 49er money. It's going to be very curious to see what the bettors do all day.
That's our numbers guy right there. Any questions for him, numbers related, put them into the chat. We'll try to get to as many as we can. Speaking of numbers, AB, you believe that the 49ers will get at least to the number 24, yes?
I do, sir. 3 touchdowns and a field goal. That's all we need. Now, look, you have 2 of the best defenses in the NFL with the Jets and the 49ers, but I think the Kyle Shanahan offense is out to prove something tonight and prove something to themselves. I think that we're going to see offense going, and once 49ers start weighing on you throughout the game, it gets a little bit heavier. Give me the 49ers team total over 23.5. They're going to get the job done tonight.
I think that AB is on to something, Z-Man. I think that when we think about the 49ers and everything they went through in the offseason and the Brandon Ayuk and the Trent Williams, and we know the front office is ticked off about having to pay them so much, they want to come out and show the world we are the very best team in the NFC, and I think that will result in points. You?
Well, and I know some people can look at it and wonder, is a guy like Brandon Ayuk all in? Is a guy like Trent Williams all in? Listen, Trent Williams is at an age where this was the perfect scenario for him. He doesn't want to go through a whole training camp. This was actually beneficial for Trent Williams. And for Brandon Ayuk, he never had any intention of leaving San Francisco. He could have accepted a trade to Cleveland. He could have accepted a trade to New England. And matter of fact, we learned over the weekend that the day that Ayuk signed the contract, Kyle Shanahan went to him and said, listen, this contract that you've had in front of you this entire time, you either take it today or we trade you to Pittsburgh today. Your choice. Decision comes. Close of business. And he chose, all right, I'm signing the contract. I'm staying with the Niners. That was always going to be the end game. So I think it's a different situation than a team like Cincinnati, who, man, looked like they had all kinds of other things on their mind yesterday. I think the San Francisco team's ready to go.
I agree with you. Bengals getting knocked out of every single survivor pool for everybody. But real quick, we have got about 30 seconds before our first commercial break. That sounds kind of cool, doesn't it? But AB, we all have to give you props because yesterday you beat Adam Schefter to the call. You said right here on the show that Dak Prescott would get a deal done on a Sunday before the game, and that's exactly what happened.
It is exactly what happened. Had some sources down there. I told you I'm from Dallas, and I understand that market well. Had some sources tell me that was going to get done, and it did. Loved it.
You damn right it did. Austin says AB with the lid swap. Hashtag respect. That's what it's all about this morning, our very first morning show on Stadium. Still to come on the show, we're going to talk about that new contract as Dak becomes the highest paid player in the history of football. That's still to come, and plenty more on DTL in the morning live on Stadium.
Here's the best
AB,
part. Yeah, here's the best part for everybody on Stadium while they're on commercial break. YouTube will always be here, and you don't get commercial breaks. So let's talk some parlays here, all right? DraftKings, pick the parlay. New customers, bet $5, get $250 instantly in bonus bets and 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. Plus, you help out the fam here. Use promo code COMBINE. Which parlay are you taking? Let's start with the Jets. All right, Jets +4, Breece Hall anytime TD, Aaron Rodgers 175 plus passing yards plus 285. Or you go on Jets +4, Garrett Wilson anytime TD, Aaron Rodgers 200 plus passing yards plus 385. And then finally, Jets money line, Breece Hall anytime TD, Aaron Rodgers 200 plus passing yards at plus 465. So, Raphael, start with you, man. Which one are you going with?
Swinging big this morning. Give me Jets money line. Give me the third one. Bryce Hall, anytime TD. You love that prop. And Aaron Rodgers. If the Jets win, Aaron Rodgers is going to have more than 200 passing yards. I'll take the plus 465. Give me the Jets money line. I'm swinging big this morning.
You are swinging big, east to west coast there. Z-Man, which one are you going?
Yeah, I mean, I just told you, I like the Niners -4, but if I'm going to pick one of these parlays, I think the best chance is the first one up top there, plus 285, Jets +4. I love a Breece Hall anytime touchdown, and I also do love Aaron Rodgers over 175 passing yards. I don't love the Jets +4 parts, but I do love the other two. If I'm going to take one of these three parlays, I take the top one.
All right, I got to jump in, AB. I got to jump in because I screwed up on a little bit of time. And so we're going to come back in 15 seconds. So that one on me. All you YouTubers can see how we do it behind the scenes. But we're coming back live in 5 seconds right here on Stadium and YouTube.
Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome to my series, Stadium Eats. We're going to be talking about all the best foods that you need to be eating at every stadium across the country. This time, we're talking about the D, and I don't mean Dallas. We're talking about Detroit and the Yardbird sandwich. The Yardbird is just bread, cheddar cheese, sauteed mushrooms, pulled chicken, and a mustard sauce. Now, I didn't have time to pull chicken, so we did a chopped chicken thigh, plus they're juicier and better tasting anyway. For the sauce, we got mustard, ketchup, Worcestershire, honey, hot sauce, my Bassett's Blend all-purpose hot. We're going to go ahead and give that a whisk, add in some brown sugar, and cook it till it looks like this. Next, we need to do our sauteed mushrooms. We just slice those up and then into a pan, olive oil, butter, cook them till they're nice and tender. Once those are done, we'll go ahead and get started on our chicken. You know, we're going to use the Bassett's Blend all-purpose. We're going to make sure we season that on both sides. Then it's going on the grill, so we get some nice char on there. We'll paint on a little bit of that sauce. Make sure you cook it to that internal of 165. Chop up the chicken. Now listen, if there's something better in Detroit, you let me know. We'll talk about it the next time. We're going to go ahead, toast up our bread, mayonnaise. If you know, you know. Now it's time to test. And that's our Yardbird sandwich. Listen, it's not exactly the same, but it's close enough. Oh, guys, the chicken, the mustard, the mushroom, the cheese. Until the next dish, y'all.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate the efforts of our crew. Are you kidding me? AB, I feel like you and Seabass are the only two guys that will cry over how something tastes.
Oh my goodness. I mean, look at that sandwich. You had food falling off of it. I mean, I want one so bad. And I do have to say, you saw those Bassett's all-season blends. Got 2 of them. They're great. Chicken, steak, whatever. Keep going down the list. They're all good, man. Solid.
Go check him out at his website. C. Bass, vital member of the crew, and also the only 5-star chef in the game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the show where we kind of move things around, but it's time to educate and entertain. Damn right. Emmanuel says the best show on TV. You're darn right. You look at that guide on Amazon Prime Video right there. DTL in the morning, DTL Primetime Live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. AB, I'm going to start with you because you called it yesterday, but now he's got to live up to it. I never thought that we would see a world where $60 million was next to an NFL player's name. We've arrived. Dak, 4 years, $240. He gets $1 million more guaranteed than Deshaun Watson. Do you like the deal?
Whether we like the deal or not, it's the going rate. Like it's like the housing market with quarterbacks in the NFL. As long as you have a salary cap, this number is going to continue to go. So we're always going to see the highest guaranteed contract of all time, et cetera, et cetera. They didn't really have any other option. Supply and demand. Kids, if you are in school, learn supply and demand. Be a quarterback or a 100-mile-an-hour starting pitcher. You will get paid your entire life because they just don't make people like you. I mean, how many people on planet Earth can successfully be an NFL quarterback? 14? It's nuts. So whether you like the deal or not, it's a going rate.
That's the key word right there, Charles, what AB said. A successful NFL quarterback. And now that he's the highest paid, his timing has been perfect, Charles, because he was the guy, 3 years ago that got that 40 in front of his name. And it just sometimes it's about being in the right place at the right time. Now, they did look good yesterday, but it's the regular season. What are your thoughts on the fact they get it done the day of their first game?
I think time is always everything with Dak. And yeah, I think he deserves it. He comes in, despite not having much playoff success, he's still 74-41 as a starter as well over 8 seasons. And he'd only had one losing season. That's when he got hurt in 2020. So I think Dak deserves it. He's, I think all he needs to do is get a few more playoff wins, Super Bowl around the corner, possibly as well. But I think for his timing is impeccable. I think Dak deserves every dollar he's got. So excited about the future with him.
Kind of petty that it was $1 million more than Deshaun Watson, but Pat says Watson's contract has to be one of the worst ever in sports. I think we all agree on that. But Z-Man, Dak now is leading the charge. At some point, they've got to do something in the playoffs with this kind of cash.
Look, the first thing I got to say, I got to cop to it. I'm a big sucker. I am a huge, huge sucker, and the puppet master has been Jerry Jones. I did not believe that this deal was going to get done. I thought Dak Prescott was absolutely going to go to an unprecedented free agency where a quarterback of his caliber, top 10 quarterback in the league, has never hit free agency completely unrestricted. I thought that was definitely on the horizon. And the fact of the matter is, Jerry Jones played me for a sucker. He knew the entire time, this entire offseason. You think that's Remember Jerry Jones saying, I don't feel any sense of urgency. I'm not nervous. Of course not, because he knows what he's doing. And when he decides, okay, let's give the contract, then let's give the contract. It was all under his control. And you think that's a coincidence that it happens hours before the first game? What does that mean? It means we were talking about the Cowboys and Jerry and Dak Prescott the entire off season. They were always in the headlines. And then at the 25th hour, the deal happens because Jerry wanted the deal to happen. I was a big sucker, and Jerry Jones was pulling all the strings, guys.
If you're a sucker, then I'm a sucker too, because I didn't think it would get done. I thought we'd play through the offseason as well. Now, another quarterback making $1 million or so from his new team is Russell Wilson. He was inactive, AB, on Sunday, but he still put the pads on. He still was out there walking the sidelines. My question to you is this. Justin Fields did it on the ground, made some good throws. They get the job done. They win by 8. Because of how he played yesterday, do you think Justin Fields keeps the job if Russell Wilson is healthy?
No. I think that they'll give Russell Wilson the shot when he's good to go because, quite frankly, Fields, they won the game, but yeah, that's the tough answer is that there is no answer with these quarterbacks in every year with the Steelers. Like, that's the issue. And that's why we go back to the previous question. Whether you like paying Dak Prescott all that money or not, the Pittsburgh Steelers would love to cut that check for a quarterback that was worth it and that could just dominate, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, Raphael, let me come over to you because we talked about during our division discussion that the Browns, the Ravens, and the Bengals all should be playoff teams. And the Steelers are the only one of those four that got the job done yesterday. So with the Steelers doing it that way, what do you think it looks like moving forward, even in week 2?
I agree. I think Russell Wilson does get the start when he's healthy, even though Fields won the game. That defense is the reason why the Steelers won the game. I'm more curious, what sportsbook we had a prep at who would start week 1 for the Steelers? Fields, Wilson, Fields. When they announced Wilson, some sportsbooks posted that already, even though they didn't play. And then he gets hurt, and then he doesn't start, and then Fields gets it. So did they get refunds? Did they get their money back? I always make sure you wait until the first snap of the game is, but I do believe Russell Wilson gets the start, even though that defense played outstanding. Fields can sit back. He's young. Russell Wilson can take the lane, and then Fields will still know, hey, I got a shot to get back in there because let's face it, Wilson's probably going to get hurt again.
John says if Fields wins, why change, Charles?
Exactly is what I'm thinking, but don't remind me that he won again. So, but yeah, I think he's earned the right to get game 2 as well. Hey, he went in, he got the job done as well. I think he adds a little bit of dynamic to the offense as well. He's able to scramble around where Russell's more of a statue as well. But I think until he loses, he's earned the right to be the starter.
All right, we got about 30 seconds. Z, man, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, as long as they're winning, Justin Fields is the starter. Next week they're playing at the Broncos. And I understand that's Russell Wilson's old club, but it's an opportunity now to go 2-0. And they're not taking out Fields right now after winning, and they're not going to take him out after 2-0 either. Now, the schedule gets a little bit rough after that. So if Fields then slips up there, it's the perfect opportunity to say, okay, now we're going to give Russ a shot here. But Fields is going to start week number 2.
So fascinating. I thought as I watched that game yesterday that he really started to have a nice rapport with George Pickens. And Pickens showed again why he is an elite athlete at the wide receiver position. And if they can get it going, we're obviously going to talk about it here on the show. There may be a quarterback controversy, maybe the first one of the entire season there in Pittsburgh for a team that's winning. That would be absolutely crazy to think about. All right, still to come here on the show, we're going to prop it up. All my guys are ready for their prop bets of the day. We'll do that next. And also, we look forward to a little more of Monday Night Football. It's DTL live on Stadium. AB, you're good, big boy.
Let's go. All right, everybody here. Parlay side for the 49ers. Again, DraftKings, new customers, bet $5, get $250 instantly in bonus bets and 1 month of NFL Plus Premium using promo code COMBINE. Now, 49ers money line, Christian McCaffrey anytime TD, Brock Purdy 200-plus passing yards, plus 185. 49ers -4, Christian McCaffrey anytime TD, Brock Purdy 200-plus passing yards, plus 255. And then finally, 49ers -4, again, C-Mac anytime TD, and Brock.
Hey, AB, I got to stop you there. I am the biggest idiot of all time. And this is why I need to bring everybody back on camera. I'm all 5-shot. And this is in real time. We screw it up. I screwed up the break time once again. This is day number 1, and I'm going to own it. And I apologize for that. We still have one more 1.5 minutes left. So I apologize. You would think I would have done a little show called Sports Center before. You would think that I did. But apparently I haven't. So my apologies to AB and the rest of the crew.
Monday Night Football gets you fired up. Look, I mean, it does it to me too, right? Like every time I start getting down, I'm like, all right, I'm going to get this graphic fired up. I look up, I'm like, Aaron Rodgers? He ain't played in 2 years. Let's go.
It's so bananas. What do we think? John says, Coach, again. I know. I mean, I will own it. I'm the biggest idiot. So we have 1 more minute we've got to get through, and I apologize again. But as we look forward, we're going to be talking about specific players. And, AB, there were a lot of players over the weekend that had really good performances, but no quarterback other than Tua went north of 300, I believe.
Correct. No, the quarterbacks really weren't that prolific. And does it question what we do in the preseason? Now, I'm not saying that it does, but Does that work matter?
All right. We'll be right back here live on Stadium. All right, AB, now you're good to go.
All right. So we've got this thing called parlays, and we're going to. All right, so you saw the first two of the 49ers. Our final one, 49ers -4. Christian McCaffrey, anytime TD. Brock Purdy, 250-plus passing yards, plus 485. And Coach, to get the break done correctly on the next one is -500 because my man's bringing heat. Don't even worry about that one. So, Raphael, I'll throw it over to you first, buddy. Which 49ers parlay you like?
Coach is like Watson. Maybe we need to bring DG in to finish the show, but I'm going to take the first one, 49ers money line and Christian McCaffrey anytime TB. Right now, McCaffrey is still questionable for the game. I think he's playing. That's why I think the bettors are betting the 49ers, and I'll take the first one at +25. Brock Purdy goes for 200 plus as well.
All right, there we go. And everybody on YouTube, again, you get to see all the makings of television, and you get to be a part of it all. No commercial breaks for you. Z-Man, which parlay you like, bud?
Yeah, I'm going to take the second one. I mean, I already told you I like the Niners -4, so let's stick with that. I love McCaffrey anytime touchdown, and Purdy over 200 yards. Like, I think I don't like 250. I think that's a little much. So we'll go with Purdy over 200 plus 255. I'll take the middle parlay.
Okay. Big Chuck. Which one do you say?
I'm not a greedy. Yeah, I'm not a greedy man. I'll take double A's. Actually, I'll take that money line. We could possibly even middle this one as well. We could get that this money line, McCaffrey and Purdy. That's yeoman's work, and then get that +4 on the other end. Hey, we could get a nice almost 600 going around a double parlay there.
Yeah, we could, right? Look, I think I like the second one. I like the 49ers -4. I like Christian McCaffrey anytime TD, and I like Purdy to throw 200-plus yards because I do think that the Jets defense is going to focus on Christian McCaffrey because obviously, why wouldn't you? C-Mac will get his, but again, I like Purdy to have to get it done in the air tonight, right? I think they were going to do that. Raphael, I thought of you real quick. Do we know anything on Christian McCaffrey injury-wise? Like, have you seen anything from the books in terms of anything moving that would say, that not that he's like out. I know he's questionable right now, but any sharp money coming that says one way or the other?
It's all been 49er money, so it tells me that the books are expecting him to play. I sent out a text to a whole bunch of book directors, and only the Lion responded back to me and said that, yeah, they're expecting CMC to play tonight. So that's why we'll probably see 4.5 sometime today if the money keeps on going. And there's only one 3.5 that's out there, and that's at Caesars, but everyone else is pretty much at 4. So I think we'll see 4.5 before we go live tonight.
All right. Very, very good. By the way, Robbie says, I can hear Coach seething. I don't need to see it. You guys know me. I'm fired up. We're back in 5 seconds on Stadium.
I'm in trouble.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are live on Stadium. It's DTL, and because of your boy, because of your host, off to kind of a rough start today, but hey, we're right back on the train. This is what we do. For everybody that's tuning in for the first time on Stadium, welcome. We'll be live here every single weekday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time and before every single primetime game for DTL Primetime Live on Mondays. That's tonight, on Thursdays, and on Sundays. Now, before we get to our prop bets today, guys, I want to focus on a specific player, one guy, AB, that you looked at over the weekend and said, you know what? He had a really great day, because maybe people in the chat or watching at home didn't know that. Can you start us off, sir?
Yeah, Sam Darnold, the Vikings. I got to give the guy credit. I mean, that was a heck of just everything that's going on. Nobody talks about him whatsoever. And yes, I get it. The Giants aren't favored to win the Super Bowl, but the dude went in, got the job done. Vikings got the job done. I thought that was just great work all around. There are probably better, more prolific performances, but I'll give the man some love, man. Great job.
The venom that I saw on social media from Giants fans yesterday was immense. They're not happy. Daniel Jones, you must laugh every time you get your paycheck, but I would take it, and I would laugh too. Z-Man, let me come over to you. Who's your guy from the weekend?
I'll tell you, I look right at Baker Mayfield. Holy crap.
Okay.
I don't know that this Tampa Bay Bucks team is going to be much better than last year. They won 9 games. They won the weakest division in football. But, man, if I'm wrong, it's going to be because the quarterback. And if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, it's a disaster. I mean, not just that you have Deshaun Watson and there's nothing you could do about it. Watson might be the worst quarterback in the NFL. Maybe if not for Daniel Jones, he would be the worst quarterback in the NFL, Deshaun Watson. So not only is stuck with him, but you can always remember, we threw Baker Mayfield in the garbage, threw him right in the trash for Deshaun Watson. And you see what Mayfield's doing in Tampa. I mean, 4 touchdowns yesterday, 24 for 30. What a terrific job. And he's very easy to like. So good for Baker Mayfield.
And it feels like he has either been humbled or a new attitude, and being happy will do that to somebody. It really, really does. By the way, Seabass is in the chat with DG, 2 members of the crew. Any questions for them, put them. They'll answer them for you in real time. Seabass says, Baker's got that swag. I love watching him play. Seabass, we agree with you. And Z-Man agrees with you. Raphael, where are you headed today, sir?
D-Man took mine. Baker Mayfield, QBR of 86 yesterday, and those wide receivers loved him. He shared the ball 3 times with Godwin, White, and Evans. All had more than 5 receptions. It was just a spectacular play call for Tampa Bay. I was really shocked on how well they played. And I know the Saints easily mopped up on Carolina, but if you're the Saints or the Falcons, and you need to watch what Tampa Bay did yesterday, because they may repeat to win this division. I had Atlanta to winning, but wow, what Baker Mayfield and that offense did yesterday was very impressive.
37-20. By the way, the Saints 47-10. For Carolina fans, could be a long year for you. Charles, Big Chuck, where are you headed?
I mean, it has to be the man that got arrested and then went into the game and got 130 yards, 7 catches, and a 80-yard touchdown to help lead his team to victory versus the Jags. Tyreek Hill all day, but some pat on the backs as well. Friday in Brazil, Jaden Reed and Saquon went off as well, so they definitely get some pat on the backs. But Tyreek Hill for me in cuffs to game hero.
I tell you what, that celebration was next level. That was the next level. Him, I think it was Waddle. AB, go.
Well, I just want to jump in. I think they're absolutely correct. I don't know if anybody saw their coach McDaniel, the Dolphins, get out of his car in the parking lot. This man has become Miami. He looks like Miami. He feels like Miami. He's getting out. He looks like it's Art Basel all the time around this guy. Dude, I'm crying laughing every time I see him. He's got tinted glasses. This man is just living South Florida, dude. He looks like he owns an LLC that no one knows about and is likely illegal.
And he's partnering with the guy that does all the NIL money for the university. What is the perception, Z-Man, of McDaniels down there in Miami?
I think for the most part, everyone likes him down here. I mean, he's obviously different, but he's easy to like. The players love him. He really comes off like a normal dude, and he's brought a level of excitement to this team that we haven't had in forever. I mean, back-to-back postseason appearances. Now, granted, it's been 25 years since we've won a playoff game, so this is a big year for McDaniel. Eventually, just getting the postseason is not good enough. Now it's got to be winning time. But I would tell you that win yesterday against Jacksonville, that's a win that a bad team doesn't make. You know, you're down by 10 in the second half, and they made all the big plays in the fourth quarter. You know, the game was really close to Etienne fumbles right before the goal line. It was going to be 24-7, but a good team makes that play. You got Hill touchdown on the very next play, and they wind up standing up on defense, get the ball back. You wind up winning it. A good team wins that game yesterday, and that's what they did.
I really felt like the reaction from McDaniels said it all. He was pumping his fist. He was running up. So he knew that was a big game that they probably, in all honesty, should have lost. All right, gentlemen, it is time to prop it up. We are going into the props for today on whatever you guys want to go. So, AB, let me start with you because you got 2 plays from Monday Night Football. Let's start right there as we prop it up.
Yes, sir. First off, all right, Aaron Rodgers, Brock Purdy, over 1.5 interceptions at plus 135. Now, we're going to do the no-fly zone tonight, and I'm going to break down why and which quarterback specifically is going to throw 2 interceptions tonight.
Oh.
That's correct, 2. But right now, you can find this at BetMGM and all kinds of other books there. But we're going to take over 1.5, and that is combined. It could be one of them throwing 2, each of them throwing 1. Doesn't matter how we get to 2, just either of those QBs. And then next, and look at that graphic right there. I want you to read that name. Jawan Jennings Jr., the dog. All right. C-Mac might be hurt. All right. Brandon Ayuk, we don't know what's going on, but I'll tell you this, Juwan Jennings didn't miss a practice. He's going over 18.5 receiving yards tonight because he embodies everything that this 49ers team is about. Toughness, ready to fight, ready to bury you in the ground, and he can catch balls too, because when the lights come on, that's when he shines the brightest.
Wasn't Juwan Jennings the guy that we would have had to buy the uniform of if we would have lost the Super Bowl bet to Big Cheesy, but we didn't, so we didn't, and then isn't that the guy?
Correct. He literally would have been Super Bowl MVP if the Chiefs didn't win the game.
Yeah. That's a big if, Big Cheesy. And by the way, Big Cheesy, he's in the chat. Welcome to DTL Live on Stadium and the Stadium app and everywhere the Stadium is. So, Z, man, let me come over to you because I am also, if you want to call me a sucker again, call me a sucker again. But I think Aaron Rodgers, because of the 2 years and because he's back home and it's Monday Night Football, I believe he wants to show out tonight. And I believe you do too.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. I don't like the Jets to win this game, and I don't like Aaron Rodgers long term. But I think the MO is there. I think you're right. I think Aaron Rodgers wants to come out firing. He wants to find his guy, Garrett Wilson. And I certainly like in the second half as well, because I think the Jets are going to be trailing in this game, and it's going to be a lot of passing the football. Hey, it could be a bunch of underneath stuff to Breece Hall. I don't care how they get the 200 yards, 100 in each half, but I like Aaron Rodgers over 100 yards in each half. And also, Christian McCaffrey, I don't think it's a lot to ask for. Christian McCaffrey over 35.5 rushing yards for the game. That one feels, pretty good to me. So both them there. One of them is minus 120. That's Rodgers. The other one minus 110 for McCaffrey. Actually, it's the other way around. Flip that. Excuse me. Minus 110 on the Aaron Rodgers prop. Minus 120 McCaffrey. Over 35.5 receiving yards. He could easily have, 4 or 5 catches for the game. We're talking 50, 60 yards. So I feel pretty good about both of those.
Hey, Z, man, the juice doesn't even matter. You're going to hit both. So it doesn't even matter what the
That's
juice
what I'm
is.
saying.
But, come on. I feel you, dog. I feel you. By the way, all kidding aside, shout out to Big Cheesy. He says, I love the new partnerships, love the hard work. Big Cheesy and all of you OGs out there, the reason we're here today is because of you guys. All kidding aside, that is fact. That is fact. Now, Charles, let me come over to you because I don't know the last time that I said the name Greg Zuerlein, but I'm saying it today. You're up.
How about Greg the Leg Zerline to get over 1.5 field goals? I'm expecting a lower scoring game where the offenses get into the opponent's side of the field, but kind of stall out as well. Plus, he's familiar with Levi Stadium, playing with the Rams as well. So I think he'll get at least 2 field goals tonight for the Jets. Then Breece Hall to get over 26.5 rushing yards. Look, he averaged receiving yards. My apologies. He averaged 35 receiving yards last season with that quarterback duo that he had last season. Now he has Aaron Rodgers as well. I think he's going to get at least 3 or 4 catches out of the backfield. So, yeah, I think getting at least 27 receiving yards is worth the play here for Breece Hall.
I agree with you. This guy, when he's healthy, he is dynamic. He is a really dynamic player. I think both him and CMC, you guys both like him in the air. I do too. Raphael, coming to you. You got 2 plays you like today. What are they?
Yeah, I love the Breece Hall play. That's why I have the Jets 49ers both to have a rushing touchdown today. I think both when we have CMC, Brock Purdy could probably score one of a quarterback sneak. And Hall, I love that prop. It's probably my favorite one on there. But we're going with George Kittle over 3.5 receptions. I'm laying the 6 nickels on this minus 130. His last 2 games, conference championship and the Super Bowl, he had a total of 4 receptions. Give him the ball. Give him some targets. I think Kittle has a big game. We all know CMC is questionable. I think he might be, if he does play, which I think he will, he'll be a decoy. I think Kittle has a really, really big game. I'm going to take that. His last 2 home games, he had 11 receptions. So I think Kittle has a big game. I'll lay the 6 nickels with Kittle over 3.5 receptions.
Wait, we're allowed to say 6 nickels? I thought we weren't allowed to say 6 nickels.
It's a Monday. I'm pumped for that. I'm pumped.
He's pumped, so the rules soften. I like it. Real quick, a couple things from the chat. AB, they're asking about Deebo Samuel and his combo number, and most places have it at 60.5. A little juicy, about minus 125 or so.
I don't mind it, but understand the 49ers have weapons all over the field. There are a lot of mouths to feed. Be careful playing large numbers with any players because it's not a negative against them. They're all studs. but there's only one football, and it's tough. And the Jets are going to try to keep the ball away from San Francisco as much as they can. So I don't hate it, but be careful with large numbers.
20 seconds, Z-Man. George Kittle, 44.5 or 3.5 catches?
3.5 catches. Yeah, I don't know how much action he's going to get, but 3.5 catches feels good to me. Just 4 catches, I'm all right with that. And I do think that there's going to be throwing the ball. I like them throwing the ball early in this one. I think we're going to get the second half with the lead, but I like George Kittle over the 3.5 catches. Yeah.
Oh, he has become a much, much bigger star since receivers and really looking at him behind the scenes. I think tonight he wants to show out because of that new stardom. Still to come here on the show, can you believe how fast this hour has flown? We look ahead to the quarterback play tonight. Also, if you weren't here at the top of the hour, we do the whip around. That's coming up next right here. It's DTL live on Stadium. Hey, B, we finally got it right. We got one right. Let's go.
Hey. You got one right indeed, baby. I told you it's minus 500 for a reason. Coach wasn't messing that up one bit, baby. All right, now look. Real quick, for a TV thing to notice tonight, watch the B-roll when they show the city of San Francisco on all the commercial breaks. Santa Clara is an hour away. This has to be the only NFL team that their city listed. You could take a plane from that city to their stadium. Understand that one. All right. Team props tonight. You see Christian McCaffrey looking sharp right there. I do like the 49ers. Unis top 5 in football. Jets TDs over 2.5 plus 150. Jets team total over 19.5 minus 115. 49ers touchdowns over 2.5 minus 125. And 49ers team total over 23.5 minus 115. Raphael, I throw it over to you, buddy. Which one do you like here?
Debo's combined yards opened up at 58.5, so that's a really good value if you got that number 6.5 too high. I like the team total with the 49ers 23.5. You mentioned it earlier. I'm going to follow you, and I'm going to cash with you. I think the 49ers have a big day. Give me the 49ers team total over 23.5.
All right, there we go. Z-Man, what do you like?
Yeah, I'll go 49ers touchdowns over 2.5. I know it's the priciest of the options there at minus 125, but everyone loves this Jets defense. I still think the Niners offense is way too good, way too many weapons. I could easily see them scoring 3 touchdowns. I could see them around 27, 30 points for the game.
All right. Big Chuck.
Yeah, and there's a reason why the 49ers are hour away from the San Francisco. Ask Ricky Pearsall, but give me the Jets team total over 19.5. I think that mixes in some field goals as well. So, yeah, Jets to score at least 20 points.
Okay, I like to play this game. As I got to go through the bets, you figure out how many, touchdowns, how many points are going to be scored. All right, Raphael, give me a final score. What do you feel tonight?
Ooh, I'm going to say 27-20 49ers.
Z-Man, real quick.
30-21, San Francisco.
Big Chuck.
Give me 24-20.
And that Ricky Pearsall was solid. Well done.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. Hopefully we get to see him tonight. I'm not quite sure, but that's also a story within the story. All right, we are coming back live in 5 seconds on Stadium. All right, welcome back, everybody. This is DTL on Stadium and on YouTube as we simulcast the very first day. Wherever Stadium is, you can find it. We are there. Amazon Prime Video. Can you believe we're on Amazon Prime Video? YouTube TV, gigantic. Roku TV, so big. The WatchStadium.com website, the Stadium app. You can find us anywhere. So thank you to all of you and to Stadium, David and his crew, for allowing us in the family starting today. Now, there's a lot of people, guys, that weren't here at the top of the hour. And as we head into Monday Night Football and get ready for DTL Primetime Live, there is a very unique AB quarterback matchup tonight. And when you look at the numbers, they're pretty much the same. Brock Purdy and Aaron Rodgers right around 234, 236 for their yardages. So the books think they'll be right around the same. What do you think?
You've got two teams that want to run the football and own the clock. The San Francisco 49ers, when they are on their game, you do not touch the football. They'll go on 12, 13, 14, 15 play drives. Remember what we saw last night? Matthew Stafford throwing it 2 yards every play, but owning the clock. That's kind of how the 49ers get down. So that's why you see low numbers here. I like Brock Purdy to do it. I think that Brock Purdy's going to throw for some yards because I think that Christian McCaffrey running him into the ground is not going to be an option tonight.
Z-Man, when a player gets paid, Justin Jefferson scored yesterday. CD Lamb, Cowboys were great yesterday. Jamar Chase hasn't got paid, and he had a mediocre game. The Bengals were terrible. But Brandon Ayuk was a guy that we've talked about here on DTL many, many times. He got $30 million per. I was shocked that he got that number. But now that he has it, with all of these big stars around him, how much do you think Kyle Shanahan will try to get him involved tonight?
Oh, I don't think Shanahan is going to do anything different. I mean, he's got a bunch of options. And the reality is, by the way, Ayuk is probably the third option on that team behind McCaffrey and Samuel. If we go back a few years ago, he may even be considered fourth. George Kittle was enormous a couple of seasons ago. So I think he's probably the third option on the team. I don't think anything changes from Kyle Shanahan's standpoint, but I also think Ayuk is fine and ready to go. I don't think Ayuk ever considered leaving San Francisco. Certainly he's happy that he got this deal because it's kind of weird when you saw what the deal was. Wow, why did it take this long? That seems pretty standard. Like, what did Ayuk actually think? Like, I think he was getting bad advice. I think his agent said to him, look, we can get you a lot more than what that offer is. Because that offer that he took was on the table the entire time and seems like a very fair deal that he signed. I don't think Ayuk was ever in a headspace where he wanted to leave San Francisco. So as a result, I think he's going to be totally fine out there tonight.
John Lynch said it. He goes, I have no idea why it's taking so long. And he clearly
got
was
bad
being
advice.
obvious. He's being obvious, yeah. Charles, let me come over to you because the 49ers now in a very unique position. They overpaid. It leaked out that the front office, the owners, not happy about it. And it's basically Super Bowl or bust. What would you consider, outside of a blowout win, a success for a team that didn't even play one down together in the preseason?
Just getting the win, I think, is most important at the end of the day. So I don't think it's going to be a blowout win. I just think getting the victory, having so many questions coming in this season and all the injuries. I think they had up to 20 people injured during training camp. Trent Williams just got back as well. Ayuk just signed the deal. They still have others that are pending as well. So I just think getting the victory in general will be a success going through week one as well. Plus, they have those pesky Vikings coming in next week. So a nice look ahead game for them.
Yeah, it is. Raphael, let me come over to you. I'll flip the script. What would be a success for Aaron Rodgers and the Jets tonight?
I think it's over extra Monday. If you lose this game, it's not going to be the end of the world. So I just think coming out, stay healthy. Look what happened to the Rams. They lost offensive linemen left and right yesterday. I think for both teams, especially the Jets, can Aaron Rodgers do more than 4 snaps? Can he be healthy? I agree with AB. The Jets are going to establish the run early and run the ball. 49ers are going to be dinking and dunking, throwing because they don't want to pound CMC if he's of a bum leg. It's going to be a very interesting chess match on this one. But if you're the Jets, if you lose this game, it's not the end of the world.
All right, we'll be live tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time on DTL Primetime Live. Now, we can't forget about the fun. We can't forget about other sports. And here on DTL, we like to play a little game where we decide who's going to go the yard on that particular evening. So home runs tonight. Producer man, if you could help me out. Here are the selections. And it's new, AB, because now you can have 2 players. I love how the books have done this. Ohtani Freeman playing. Ozuna Olsen, Perez Judge, Henderson, Santander, and Guerrero Alonso. Who's going to go the yard tonight, sir?
I'm going Marcell Ozuna, Matt Olson. Although, all right, Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, and Dansby Swanson also would be solid in this one. But I'm going with the Braves here, playing at home. Yeah, give me Ozuna Olsen plus 130.
They can't afford to give one game away, Charles. Right now, that race in the National League East is very, very tight. Who's going the yard for you, Charles?
I'm going with the chalk, Shohei and Freddie plus 120. Hendricks, I'm expecting plenty of runs in this one. I think first 5 is also a look as well for some runs. But yeah, I like Shohei, Freddie for show purposes plus 120.
Hashtag stay on your toes. Z-Man, what do you like?
Well, first of all, let me tell you, I love this new play where we can have either guy from either of these teams. And I love the graphics here. It's very clean looking. I like this. I'm going to go with Vlad Guerrero and Pete Alonso plus 280. I'm in it to win it. All right. I got to pay this mortgage somehow. So I'm going to go with Guerrero Jr., Pete Alonso. And you know this game means a lot to the Mets. They're currently in a wild card position.
All of that goes to AB, working tirelessly through the night to make the show look Lean, as Z-Man says. Raphael, talk to me.
I'm taking the chalk as well. Ohtani might hit a home run that lands at Wrigley tonight with Kyle Hendricks on the mound. So I'm taking Ohtani and Freeman plus 120. This total could go up to 10. So much action while we're talking football during the show. Everyone's betting the Dodger game over. It's 9.5. Some books have minus 120 on the over.
All right, we've only got a couple of minutes left. That's all we need for a little segment we like to call the Whip Around. One nugget, 10 seconds or less each play in the show. Charles, go.
UEFA Nations League, France, Belgium, both teams to score. I think we see a 1-1 final score here today.
That is day soccer, something we love here at Driving the Line. Raphael, let's go back to the other screen first. There you go. Raphael, go.
Give me the Dodgers team total over 5.5 even money. We already said Ohtani has a big day against Kyle Hendricks.
Z-Man.
Look, Coach, I'm not wasting any time here. We're not dancing around this. I'm not overthinking. I'm not trying to get cute. 49ers -4, -110. Just put a green check mark next to it right now. Come on.
AB.
49ers team total over 23.5. 3 touchdowns and a field goal. Gets the job done. Take it. Let's go.
You guys are killing me. Let's go to props now. Charles, back to you, big boy.
Greg the Leg, Zerline over 1.5 field goals, and Brees Hall to get at least 27 receiving yards.
Raphael.
Bailey's favorite 49er, George Kittle, over 3.5 receptions, minus the 6 nickels, and the Jets 49ers, both teams to score 1+ rushing yard, plus 120. Let's cash.
Z-Man, let's cash with yours.
Raphael, excellent Bailey reference. Christian McCaffrey over 35.5 receiving yards. 3.5 would be so easy. Aaron Rodgers over 100 yards in each half.
AB, bring us home.
Aaron Rodgers, Brock Purdy combined over 1.5 INTs plus 135. And it's first down in Jawan tonight over 18.5 receiving yards for Jawan Jennings minus 115.
Absolutely phenomenal job, guys, by all of you. Not so much for your boy, but we made it through our very first show. And for that, I am incredibly grateful. Guys, great job. We'll see you on DTL, the podcast, and also tonight on Prime Time Live. It's time for the closing bell. It's all about playing the crew together. What's their choice today, AB?
The crew surprising a little bit, going Jets +4. Feeling it on the road in Santa Clara.
What? That shocks me.
I know. I didn't see that coming either. Yep.
Wow.
Hey, smart play, though. We've seen a lot of low points being scored. Unders coming in. There you go.
There you go. All right. I'll see you later today on DTL Primetime Live. This is the first time ever on Stadium, but ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to go out into the world, for you to pay it forward, be kind to one another, and understand this. There's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, love them all. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, live on Stadium.